Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together, we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys?
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Hey wife, did you know that Anchor is sponsoring our show?
Really? Don't we use Anchor to distribute our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts?
Yeah, and we are on just about every other platform available as well, thanks to them.
Why do we use Anchor as our podcasting service?
Well, they make editing and distributing our show a breeze.
What if one of our listeners wants to start their own podcast?
Then they should head over to anchor.fm or download the app to get started.
Awesome! You guys should go do that right now! Husband!
Wife!
Do you remember what happened?
So you mean the last episode on Friday, right? Yeah. So I think David kicked some Amalekite ass.
Well, but before that, what's his name? Saul had sent him home.
Right.
And then they came back and their town was burned and their wives were taken. And they were like, WTF, motherfucker.
Right. Yeah.
And then they asked God.
Well, no, not they. David.
Asked God, should I go after him? And God was like, abso-fucking-lutely.
Have you ever noticed, though, whenever, whenever Bible people go fight somebody else, they never talk about how many people died on their side.
Right.
Like, you know that they couldn't just possibly, like, kill them all and nobody died on their side.
Right.
That's not how that works.
Right.
And so, why? Why do they never talk about who died on their side?
Because that wouldn't make you excited.
I guess.
I'm
not really excited as it is. I'm like, this is dumb. You guys fight too much.
This is supposed to make you see how awesome God is.
But he's not.
No, I know.
And
I know.
Really the Bible shows me exactly the opposite of that.
Right.
So, and that didn't work out very well for them.
So God said yes, go after him. You're going to get everything back. And then David took his 600 guys.
Yeah.
But then 200 were like, I'm tired to cross the brook.
Right.
But then they turned it into, just kidding, they were staying behind to guard the equipment. They weren't too tired.
No, they were definitely too tired. That's what they said.
That's what they said.
So.
And then David and his 400.
And his men actually wanted to, like, ridicule them and not let them have stuff. Because they did stay behind because they were too tired. And then David was like, nah, man, they're good.
Right. But then they found this random Egyptian.
Yeah.
And the Egyptian was like, my master left me behind. And David was like, if we feed you and don't kill you, will you take us to him? And then that's how they found where they were, and they went there and they got all their shit back.
I still don't understand how thousands of people in the desert is hard to find.
Right?
Like, it just doesn't seem like it's that big of a task, you know?
It doesn't.
Like, follow the shit. Like you said the last time, they're going to discard some crap. Follow it.
Yes. I agree. But I am not a person that lives in these circumstances, so I don't know.
Right.
I'm just speaking out of my ass saying, surely it can't be that difficult.
Yeah.
So... Anyway, they found them with the help of the starving Egyptian.
Awesome.
Got all their shit back.
And then killed them all. And that's when, like you said, the guys were like, we're not sharing. And David was like, fuck you, yes we are. And then they shared their shit with... Their shit. They shared their shit with all of Israel.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, that was mine.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to give that to Joe, man.
Maybe they meant that not only did they get their own shit back, but also since they wiped out that tribe, they took all their stuff too.
That could be.
And so they shared the plunder, not the stuff just that they got back.
You're probably right.
I'm going to go with that because there's no way these guys were like, yeah, sure. I mean, that used to be mine, but I absolutely want to just
give it away.
Yeah.
Right.
Give it away now.
All right, so that was 1 Samuel chapter
30,
and today we are doing 1 Samuel chapter
31, the final chapter of the book of 1 Samuel.
Oh, right.
Which is just funny to me, because Samuel's been dead for ages now.
I know, it seems like it, right?
And there's a whole other book in his name.
He'll probably come back to life or some bullshit. He already did once.
He did. The Witch of Endor raised him.
Yeah, I know. It was amazing.
Yep.
All right, let's go get into this chapter, okay?
All right. Okay, 1 Samuel chapter 31.
Okay.
We have reached the end.
Thank the end.
I was waiting for how are you going to end that sentence? The death of Saul and his sons.
Oh, okay.
As foretold, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think at least at one of those stories that they told.
The Witch of Endor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When they raised Samuel, Samuel's
right.
you're going to die.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Now the Philistines attacked Israel, and the men of Israel fled before them. Many were slaughtered on the slopes of Mount Gilboa.
Yeah.
The Philistines closed in on Saul and his sons.
Oh, no.
And they killed 3 of his sons, Jonathan, Abinadab, and Malchishua.
Isn't that all of his sons?
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't remember
maybe
how
not.
many he had, but I am sad about Jonathan.
Yeah.
Jonathan was a good guy.
And he was friends with Samuel, or no.
David.
Yeah, that guy.
They were lovers.
Something like that, yeah.
I think they were lovers.
Okay.
The fighting grew very fierce around Saul. Fierce. And the Philistine archers caught up with him and wounded him severely.
Oh, no.
Saul groaned to his armor bearer. Take your sword and kill me before these pagan Philistines come to run me through and taunt me and torture me. Kill me.
Yeah.
What are you, a fucking Klingon? Your honor is so great?
No. I mean, I can imagine, back then, you're going to die horribly if you don't just, get it over with, so...
That is true. It's like in the Hunger Games when the dogs at the end were getting that one bad guy, Kato, right. And so she fired her arrow down to put him out of his misery.
Well, yeah.
It's a death. It's a mercy killing.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
But his armor bearer was afraid and would not do it. So Saul took his own sword and fell on it.
Oh, damn.
Motherfucker killed himself.
Yeah.
If you knew torture was coming, would you kill yourself?
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough.
That is tough because you always assume, you as a person I know, always
I'm very
assume
arrogant. So
you're like, I can get out of this.
Right? Yeah. I don't think I would.
Even in the middle of torture, you would be like, I'm still not going to kill myself because I know I can get out of this.
Right.
You're stupid. When his armor bearer realized that Saul was dead, he fell on his own sword and died beside the king.
Oh, damn.
Wow. Yikes.
No. I mean, I think I'd just run away, personally.
I would have run away.
That's just my theory. That's my take on it.
If I was Saul or the armor bearer, I'd be like, let's
fuck.
out.
Well, Saul was injured, so he might have been too wounded to run away. But his armor bearer didn't say he was wounded. So, if I'm his armor bearer, I'm like, dropping the armor, running that way.
If you were Saul, wouldn't you have even told him, save yourself?
Yeah, I mean, right?
Fly, you fool.
Yeah.
So Saul, his 3 sons, his armor bearer, and his troops all died together that same day.
Oh, man.
Womp womp. When the Israelites on the other side of the Jezreel Valley beyond the Jordan saw that the Israelite army had fled and that Saul and his sons were dead, they abandoned their towns and fled.
Oh, man. Yeah,
dead
they're
and fled and dead.
Yeah. Saw and Saul.
Yeah. They saw Saul dead in bed and fled.
Yeah.
So the Philistines moved in and occupied their towns. Oh, they gonna get it from David, though.
You think?
David's not gonna have it.
We're at the end of the book.
I know.
This is what the next book's all about, huh?
I don't know.
Even though Samuel's dead, it's still going to be Samuel chapter, because I got to be like, we're still continuing the story, so it's still Samuel.
I wonder. That's one of my questions. Why is a book about a guy who is dead?
Why do they got to make it 2 Samuel? Why don't they just keep it 1 Samuel?
Why don't they call it David?
Why don't they just call it Samuel? Or why don't they just change it to David?
Right?
Isn't that a whole other fucking book?
Right. Yeah, I don't get it. The next day, when the I almost said Philippines. I apologize. That is not correct. When the Philistines went out to strip the dead, they found the bodies of Saul and his 3 sons on Mount Gilboa. So they cut off Saul's head.
Oh, damn.
And stripped off his armor. But who cares? He's dead.
Do you think these guys, how do they know who's who? Do they have meetings hey, we're going to kill you later, man?
They photocopied pictures and put posters up. Duh.
Okay.
Then they proclaimed the good news of Saul's death in their pagan temple and to the people throughout the land of Philistia. What?
Oh, I was gonna say, don't you think you could just cut off any random dude's head and be like, we killed Saul.
We killed Saul. Saul is dead.
I mean, nobody would question you, right?
They'd
be like, okay, great. That's
awesome.
awesome.
I don't know, because the Witch of Endor knew what Samuel looked like, and
whatever.
Once she realized who Saul was, she recognized him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They placed his armor in the temple of the Ashtaroth. What? Ashtoreths.
Okay.
I was trying to say Ashtaroth, but that's not right. It's Ashtoreth.
Okay.
And they fastened his body to the wall of the city of Bethshan.
Damn.
They are ugly.
Right?
But when the people of Jabesh Gilead heard what the Philistines had done to Saul, all their mighty warriors traveled through the night to Bethshan, took the bodies of Saul and his sons down from the wall.
Just walked right in and just did that.
They saw Saul was on the wall, and they took Saul down from the wall.
And then they hauled him back.
Nice. They brought them to Jabesh, where they burned the bodies. Then they took their bones and buried them beneath the tamarisk tree at Jabesh, and they fasted for 7 days. The end.
Oh, okay. Fasted. Okay. What did
they mourned? It was their mourning.
Yeah, all right.
You know.
Okay.
They were sad, so
sure.
they did the grieving of their king.
I still want to know how you just walk into the fucking town and just take the fucking body in the head or whatever.
I mean, if you were that good, why couldn't you have defended your shit better?
Right? That's crazy.
I have no idea.
Whatever.
I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out in 2 Samuel, huh?
2 Samuel.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a rather anticlimactic end to that book, since
it really
we're kind
was.
of still in the middle of the story.
I don't understand why, A, either they're breaking up to a second book, or B, why they keep it the same basic name. Like, this makes no sense. So
I don't get it.
I guess we'll have it all clarified in the next one.
Question mark?
Yeah, kind of doubt it, but hey, whatever. Wishful thinking, right?
Right. So that was 1 Samuel chapter 31.
Yep, it was a really short chapter.
It really was.
But tomorrow, I think we're going to be doing our wrap-up of 1 Samuel, and obviously we'll, if there's anything we need to cover from this one, there wasn't much there, so.
Right.
But we're going to cover the wrap-up of the book.
Yes.
And then I think we're going to be doing some other shit throughout the week, because we like to start our books on the beginning of weeks.
Yeah.
So we got some special episodes and crap that we're going to be doing.
Yeah, I think we're going to do a book club that we talked about.
Yeah, the one.
I was supposed to have that ready for this past weekend, but that just didn't, it wasn't in the cards, man.
Right.
So, but we've got that episode ready for this week.
Yeah, definitely. All right, cool. Well, let's get on out of here, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okie dokie.
All right.
Bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.